Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins and today I'm thrilled to be able to share a project with you using the new Papercraft Society Box number 63. I've designed this one under my brand Textures and I am absolutely in love with the contents and I hope you will be too. So let's dive straight in. First of all, have a quick look at what's inside the box and then make a beautiful card. So taking inside, we have got the wallet. Now the wallet has changed recently. So it used to be a wallet that folded out in 3 parts, but we've still got the same wonderful amount of products inside. So in this one, we have a full set, A5 set of stamps. So if I just turn that with some white behind, we can see we've got lots of camera themes in here. We've got some sentiments as well, some splats, some embellishments. I love that. We have got the most beautiful I'll need to find actually a colour to put this on for you so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe that one will work. There we go. So a beautiful stencil that you can use with your texture paste and your inks, and because it's A5 you can fill a whole sheet. We've also then got some dies too. Now these dies are going to build you a camera, whether it's a card or whether it's then a box, a gift box, a mini album. There's lots of different items you can be creating, and the project booklet, which I'll show you in a moment, will explain you through lots of those. Then we have got a couple of sheets of acetate. Obviously, if you are creating a camera, these are perfect for the lens. And then we've got these beautiful backing papers. So some are full pieces and some are to be cut out. That one's upside down, but as you can see, you've got the photo, the film strip, you've got florals. They are gorgeous, those florals. I absolutely love them. Every single one is different. There are no repeats with the patterned papers. With Papercraft Society, what usually happens is inside your project booklet you will have a link so that you can download those papers at home and print off more as and when you need them too. So talking about the project booklet, we've got 16 projects in here. Lots of them are step by step as well, so you get either photo steps or written steps. There's just so much going on in here, lots of different styles as well that you can follow along with. Then we've got the ephemera, and honestly the amount that's in here is absolutely crazy. So lots and lots of pieces. Look at this, it's mad. There's so much there, so I'm going to have fun putting those onto my project with you today. And then inside the box there's even more. We have this beautiful wide ribbon. I think there's like a whole yard of it or a metre or something. There's loads, and you can snip into that as well if you want some smaller elements. Then we have, I love this tool. I'm so happy with it. It is like a tracing wheel, like a haberdashery tracing wheel. This isn't sharp, so you're not going to sort of stab your finger with it or anything like that, but it will make indentations in your paper to look like faux stitching, which I love. I've been doing it by hand for years. Then we've also got the film strip embossing folder, and last but not least we have some solid cardstock here that is going to coordinate with everything else that we've got in the kit. So for this project I'm going to be using the dies and I'm going to create a camera shaped card. So you can do a box camera, again details are in the project booklet. You can make this into a mini album, but I'm going to do quite a simple card, maybe for someone who's going traveling perhaps. It's going to be floral, it's going to be feminine, really pretty, but you can use the elements in the kit to go down more of a masculine route if you're careful about which elements and which designed papers etc that you are choosing. So I've got myself here a card base, and it was a 5x7 top fold card base, but I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to be using the largest of the dies here in the set. And I'm going to place the camera die on my card, but ever so slightly just overlapping this edge. Now it really is only a tiny amount, just like so, just so that you don't cut over that score line. Then I'm going to use some low tack tape just to hold this down. So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, but because I'm going through 2 layers of cardstock, you may find you need to run it through a couple of times to get through both layers, particularly if your card base was quite a good heavyweight cardstock to start with. So say it was a 250 GSM card base, you're going through 500 GSM, so you need to make sure you get through that by running through twice at least. So I've just done that. I'm now going to remove the excess, and you can keep this excess just for scraps for things like sentiments etc if you wish to. Now I'm going to choose one of my patterned papers that I'm going to decorate the front of this with. I think I'm going to choose one that's reasonably plain. I quite like the graph paper actually for this. It's kind of got a bit of a fun school look about it, and then I'm probably going to use the blue wood grain alongside it. So taking these two out. Now I need to recut this from this large die just to map that over the front of the card. Now I'm going to adhere this layer down onto my card base now, and then really the rest of the layers I'm probably going to sort of wait until I've got everything almost all cut out and ready before I glue anything down. So just placing this, and there's a reason I'm placing this on now and not in a little while with everything else, is because I need to die cut through both layers and I want to ensure that I get these absolutely perfectly level and straight with each other. So rather than cutting the pattern paper and then the card base separately, I am going to do them together. So just mat that onto there, just used a wet glue just to stick that on top, and I'm going to take probably the third smallest, yeah, I think the third smallest one there, circle, and just place that on the front underneath where the flash will be. So try to get it central to that if I can. And then I'm going to have my card open and run this through my die cutting machine just like this so that I can cut through both layers. Now I want to keep hold of this circle that I've just used and then take probably the second largest one, because I need to cut myself a frame for my lens out of these two. So this is going to be a different colour cardstock. I think I'm going to go with the, let's go with a solid one this time actually, rather than a patterned one. So just rummaging in the box beside me here. Do I go pink or let's go with blue. I think we'll stick with blue for the camera, and then we can add some beautiful pink embellishments with the florals in a little while. So layering a piece of fluff there, but layering the two circles together, making sure there's nice even spacing around both of them, and tack those down. And you ideally want to tack down both sides as well, because otherwise there could be some movement whilst you're die cutting. There we go. And I'm going to run this through. So although I'll keep the inner circle, it's not essential for this project. Instead, I'm just going to use that outer circle like so. But I also need to cut myself a piece of the acetate that comes in with the box too. Now the acetate needs cutting from that larger circle that you used for this. And if you've got a metal shim or if you've got a chrome base plate within your machine, you'll be able to cut through this nice and easily. Now I'd also like to stamp onto this circle, acetate circle, before attaching it to my card. So to do this, I'm going to need to use a StazOn. So this is a solvent ink, because any other ink will just rub straight off of acetate. So I'm going to lay my acetate onto a sticky mat. You probably can't see that very well at all actually, but I'll use a couple of magnets if I can, if I've got the space on it. And I've got the stamp here because every picture tells a story, so I think that's lovely. Ideally, you know, if this goes to somebody who loves their photography, it's absolutely perfect. So just positioning this onto the acetate in the center. Bear in mind you're going to have that frame around the outside, so try to put it central if you can. Pick it up there. And then, because this is a brand new stamp, I'm going to use a pencil eraser and just brush over the surface of it just to remove any residue, like so. And then I'm going to use my StazOn ink. So just inking the stamp up in the same way as I would if it was any other material that I was stamping up onto, and pressing that down very gently, sort of almost tapping it rather than pushing down really hard. Make sure that you've got every little bit there, just there, because every picture tells a story. There you go. Sorry, you had some glare on there. Perfect. Okay, so because this is a solvent ink, I'm going to give it a wipe, but it will leave some ink residue on there, so it will stain the stamp slightly, but it won't affect its performance other times. While that's drying, I can now use my piercing tool. I'm actually going to come back in with my stamping platform because I use the Creative Craft Products stamping platform, and on the reverse it has a like a foam back. This is to prevent it sliding around on your craft desk, but it's also ideal for using with your tracing wheel. So I'm just going to push down into my cardstock with my tracing wheel, and what I get is this fabulous faux stitched edge. I absolutely love it. Now you can do this with different weights of cardstock or paper as well, and it is just wonderful, the effect that you get. And what I really like with this is you can make the edge of the paper almost slightly curl up as well, so it looks like it truly is stitched, the same way as it would gather if it was. And I've got somewhere to rest my finger for extra pressure whilst I'm using the tool as well. Now I'm not going to worry about the top here because I'm going to have this layer over the top, so that's just gone around the edge there instead. Now at this stage I want to choose a colour as my border colour, so this is what I'm going to do my inking of the edges with, and I think something like, let's have a look at my inks. I'm thinking frayed burlap, because frayed burlap, if we look at this paper here, it's a brown grey, and I think this frayed burlap is similar. And I'm going to stick with this colour to ink the edges of everything that I'm putting down. This is going to make it all look cohesive. So this also part of the reason that I haven't actually glued any more down yet, even though I have decided on layers. So I've gone round the edge of that one. I'm going to go round the edge of this one also, even though this has the wood grain effect on it. Just going around the edge helps to give it this nice border. And I'm also carefully going to do it with this blue as well. Now this is a little bit harder because it's such a thin circle, but it can be done. So I'm now going to run a line of glue around the outside of my acetate. And bearing in mind the ink may still be just a touch damp, so I'm going to be very careful with this for now. I'm just using an ordinary wet white glue. So this is bookbinding glue that I use for my papercraft projects, and it will stick to the acetate perfectly. It just takes a little bit longer than paper to dry. So being, again, very careful because I know that ink may still be a bit wet. It takes about 10 minutes for solvent ink to dry, longer than usual, because of course it doesn't absorb into the acetate, it sits on top, and it just needs the solvent or alcohol needs to like burn off in it before it can dry. So that is going to go over the top of the card there. Position everything in the correct places and just draw a circle like so. I'm going to use my scissors to cut, and I'm going to cut just inside the circle that I've drawn so that we don't have any edges that don't look perfectly neat. And I think I'm ready now to stick this layer down. I can't see that I need to do any more. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to place this on with foam tape. So I need some very, very thin strips of foam tape for this. And now I can stick this over the top, just like so, pressing down those edges. And as you can see, we're starting to build up our camera. Now we've got lots more embellishment that we can do. What I tend to do is embellish with florals and such first, and then add on any extra pieces for the camera that I want to afterwards that are actually going to be seen. So I'm going to choose my florals from this set. So I think I've chosen these two, and I'll also add a butterfly over the top too, which will be this lovely cream colour that will actually tie in with the background. But I want the florals overlapping the lens this side, but I'd like them shaped around the lens this side, because of course that's too big, it covers them up. So then I'm going to take the largest die that I used for the lens, and I'm going to place it over here. And I don't mind that my florals are overlapping just slightly there. And then I'm going to stick this onto the ephemera. So I'm going to die cut that shape out. So now that's die cut out, as you can see, that just fits absolutely beautifully around that, and it looks as if the florals are kind of tucking both in and out of the lens. So I'm going to adhere those down, and again I will be doing this with foam tape. So I'm just going to glue my butterfly down around about here, I think, and that I've lifted the wings up and just glued the body down there. Now these florals are a little more detailed than these ones, and that's why I've added the butterfly over the top. Now I can look at just adding a little more embellishment to the top of the camera. So we've got the flash, so I'll add this in. We've got lots of pieces, to be honest, but I don't actually need a huge amount more. I think I'll add some circles, so we've got some buttons as well that will be useful. Yeah, I think I'll go with those ones, and then we'll see. Oh, we've also got the buttons here, so like the shoot button, which will tuck inside there. So I will cut these pieces out, add them on, and then see if we think we need any more. To help enhance this camera so that it looks like a real working camera, I've got the flash here, so I just sort of place that somewhere around near where the flash piece is, and that will then of course shine in as you move the card. And there we go. I mean, you can do so much more with this. We have got lots more stamps. You could add film strip. We've also got the embossing folder with the film strip and a film strip in the dies too, so you can pick and choose how you use them. I would probably actually add, in fact I might do that now, just add a film strip stamp down the edge here or across the bottom. I think I'll do it down the edge. There, that has added a little extra inside the card also. That is really good fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this together, only pretty much using the items from the box, besides a couple of ink pads as well. So if you've already subscribed to Papercraft Society, then this box should be on its way to you. If not, later on, if there's still any stock left, you will be able to buy this box individually. Check out the description below for all the details of that. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you again very soon. Take care.